Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today I am going to be going really back to sort of like the basic crafting that I started with, because I loved crafting and I didn't have the money at the time to buy anything, so I just had the real basics. I had obviously paper. I didn't have coffee stain paper because I didn't know how to do it then. This is going back years, a little bit too long to say, but I was just using coloured paper that I had stamps, and I had heat embossing powder. So that's what I used to use. I'm using StazOn at the moment, but I didn't use StazOn. I just used a really cheap little square black ink pads that I had, which worked perfect for me. So you could always use something. There's always something that's out there that you can use, but at the moment because I've got StazOn, I'm using StazOn ink. I'm using coffee stain paper, which I would have used before, which just coloured craft paper. And I've got my, look at this box of dusty grubby ink embossing powders. Now this is heat embossing powders, and these are really old. Seriously old. So look, this is a place called Trago Mills. Now I used to live in Cornwall, and there's a big sort of like shop that sells everything. If you live in Cornwall, you'll know Trago Mills, but these are like seriously 25 years old at least. Well, I've been away from the UK for 26 years, so these are at least that old or even more. It's called Heat It Up. Now these are all different ones I've got, but I don't know whether you can get Heat It Up anymore, but that's where it came from. And then they were £2.19, so that was still quite expensive at the time, but I got hundreds, and you can see they're in my little cupboardy drawer thing, all of those little boxes that I've got, but they still get really dusty. Now I'm using this one, which is gold tinsel, and I did find this one says hologram super sparkle, so I think I'm going to use that one today. So I'm going to pop those two out, and I'm also featuring some lovely products from Beebeecraft. Now for the stamps today, I'm using these. Now these are beautiful. There are 60+ stamps, and they're lovely little sort of floral corner stamps. You've got little leaves in here, you've got little flowers. Let me just turn this over, let me just see if you can see them a little bit better. I'm not sure whether it's glaring a bit. I hope not, but they're like little corners, and they are just beautiful. This one is upside down. This one's got a little butterfly on there. You've got the little leaves. You've got these lovely little squirrely whirlies, which are just beautiful, and they are such lovely accents for journal pages. Now if you're new to journaling, these are just perfect for you, because you can just use coffee stain paper or coloured paper and just stamp the corners. You don't need digital kits and things like that if you don't have them, but they are beautiful. Look at that, and I love them because they've got the little bouquets of flowers, and of course I love my butterflies. But these are just beautiful, aren't they? So this is what I'm going to be using today. I'm also going to be enhancing them, or embellishing them should I say, with these beautiful little rhinestones. You get 2 of these and 2 of the little picky up pencils, which are fabulous. They work really well. So that is what I'm going to be using. Oh, and with the stamps you get these little acrylic blocks as well. They come like this. Now they do have a little sort of plastic coating thing on, which you take off, and what I did, I just got my little pokey tool, and I just took it. Probably won't be able to do this one very easy, but this comes off. So I've left this one on to just show you how it comes off. God, not going to be able to do it very easily. Look at that. The other one came off absolutely just perfect, but look at that, these just pull off. There you go. It's just a nice protective film, so your little acrylic blocks don't get scratched and stuff. But let me just take that off. So if you order these, or you have these, you can just see that they have this. They're not sort of like cloudy. They are clear. If I can get it off, just get a little sharp tool a pin or a little needle will do as well, just to break that little seal on it, because they're sealed around the edges. There we go. And then this, look at that, just peels off. Pop that in your recycling, and then you get this lovely, lovely little clear block. So when you're stamping, you can see exactly where you're going to stamp, and they've got like little grids on them as well. So they are lovely. So I'm going to show you here. So this is what I want to do. I want to go back to sort of like some of the very, very basics. And this is the sort of thing I started off with when I first craft. So I know I get lots and lots of you that are new to crafting. So if you have paper, you have some stamping, you got a little ink block. It doesn't have to be StazOn. It can just be a cheap ink. You can do all of this. And these embossing powders, you can buy these in all sorts of places now. So this one, I'll show you this one. This is a little paper clip. Oh look, I stamped it with my little happiness and crafting stamp on the back as well. So I did use some of my, these are my digis, but they're just the black and white ones. These are just ephemera digis. And if you haven't got a colour printer, you can just print black and white. And I printed these onto coffee stain paper as well. So really inexpensive to do. I've just added one onto there, and then I've stamped with some StazOn, and I've added one of the little embellishments on there, the little gems. I've made this into just like a little opened up paper clip. I've made a little pocket at the front, and then I've stamped on there. So I just think this would add a lovely little thing into your journal, wouldn't it? Then you could just write on there, you could pop little pockets in there, you could stamp on it, but it just clips onto your page. So I'm going to show you how easy that is to make. So we're going to make 3 things today. This is just a beautiful little super simple notepad, or a booklet, just to go into your journals. Another one of my little ephemeras there, and I've embossed a beautiful little butterfly, pop some little gems on there. Yeah, that's on with StazOn, not StazOn, with Versamark ink. And then this is StazOn with some lovely little gems on there. Super simple, and then just stapled. So we generally have staplers in our, around our house in places, don't we? And this one is a really super simple little flippy pad as well. And I've just embossed little bits onto the bottom of the pages. And then this is what I had left on my desk, so I just stuck that on, and then I popped a paper clip on. So I can't get more simple than that. So I'm going to pop these to the side, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do them. So grab a little bit of paper, and you can craft along with me. So this I've just put down for the embossing. Let me just move some of this paper out of the way. So let's start with the little booklet, shall we? So I've got a piece of A4 paper. Now again, if you don't have coffee stain paper, use some coloured paper, just use some plain copy paper, use whatever you got. And I'm just going to tear it into quarters like this. So it's really, really simple. Now sometimes we forget, don't we? We forget about the simple things and going back to sort of like basic stuff. I know it's quite nice to have lots and lots of crafting products, but you'll be surprised what you can do with stamps and ink, because I just love it. I forgot as well, I forget. But thinking back to where I first started, I used to make greeting cards and things like that, and I used to just play around doing things, and I couldn't afford at the time, I just could not afford, with 2 little kids, couldn't afford to buy anything at all. So I used to make everything. I used to make it all and do the best I could with what I had. But obviously through the many, many years, I have gathered a huge amount of stuff. I did lose a lot of stuff through moving and things like that. So, you know, I've had to sort of start again on some bits. Right, so we've got 4 pieces, and I'm just going to pop them in on top of each other. I quite like that bit with a little dark coffee bit on there. So just pop those in. Really, really simple. I'm going to get my ink pad. Now again, if you've only got the little tiny squares, I know in all the craft shops you can buy the little tiny square ink pads and they are just as good. So just use those, and they are very inexpensive as well. So look at that, I'm just inking around the edges, nothing special, just using the ink pad. Right, so that's that. I'm going to get my stapler. Okay, and then that's the end. So this is this side. So we want to staple this side. I'm going to turn it around this way because it's easier for me to staple this way. Make sure all your pages are in. Get your stapler and just staple. There we go. And then you've got a little pad of paper just to pop into your journal as a little extra. So that's the start of it. So what we are going to do, we're going to pick a lovely little stamp. Now, decisions. I'm just going to go straight in because I could be here for hours trying to pick something. So let's just go, oh gosh, if I can get it off. Let's go in here. Will this one fit on our little diddy one? So this is our little small, whoops, little ink pad. It's not an ink pad. It's a little acrylic block. So we can either go this way, you know, it depends which way round you want to do it. You could do all 4 corners, but I'm just going to do it down in this corner here. Now on this one I've used Stays On, which is lovely, so that's what I'm going to use on this one. So this is jet black, and when I get my ink pads I normally write the date on the back. So this, look, I got this in 2021, but I do have the little Stays On refill, which is great, and this lasts for ages. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to keep buying new ink pads, which the Stays On one I do like. Sometimes with the distress ink I like to actually buy the whole thing new. Right, I'm going to just put that down and go over the top like this. Now when you've got new stamps you can actually, which I probably should have done, pop a little bit of sticky tape over the top, just there's like a little film sometimes over them, and I'm going to just stamp onto this little piece here, just to the first stamp, just to make sure I haven't put too much ink on there. I think I put too much ink on that one, so I'm just going to just dop it gently like that. Just make sure you get all the little corner bits. Pop that on there. Now I know probably some of you may have the little stamp things. Hold it onto your page for a little bit, just so that the ink sinks in. So look at that, doesn't that look nice? Now I'm going to take I've got a cleaner, but just because Stays On is a permanent ink, so whatever you put it on it will stay. Do you know what I mean? So you can put this on there and you can actually watercolor over this and it won't smudge. So that's why I like Stays On. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to pop it back where I have it taken it from, so they don't get muddled. So look at that, that's lovely. I'm going to just take one of my little embellishments, pop something on the top. Let's have a look. What shall we have? What shall we go for? Let's see. Now these embellishments, I do actually have these, which are little envelopes, which are quite nice, aren't they? Shall we just put that on there? Let's go for that. Put these to the side. Let's ink up around the edges. Gosh. Just use your whole ink pad like that. Gets it nice and grungy. Little bit of glue. Again, you can use glue stick, whatever you got. So if you want to sort of like, I had a lady, and I can't remember what she's called, and she did put a comment under one of the videos to say that she's having to pack all her stuff away because she's moving, but she wants to have a little sort of stash of something that she could do. Josh, I mean, not pack everything away. So if I was you, or anybody that's moving or wants just a little bit of something out so you can have a play, just pick out some stamps, some ink, a little bit of glue. You can always find paper from somewhere, recycle anything, but you can always make something. Josh, I mean, as long as you've got paper and glue and some ink and of course some stamps, you can do anything. So what I'm going to do on this one, shall we have, I did put butterfly on the other one, and I quite like this little butterfly too. Just pop that. Let me just wipe this because I think I got some stays on stuff on there. Let's pop the little butterfly on there. I'm going to use Versamark. Now Versamark is a clear sticky pad, which is for it. You can do watermarks with it, or you can actually emboss with it. So this is what I am using. I'm just going to dab that on just a little bit. I'm going to pop our little butterfly down there. Just hold that on just for a minute. And then let's go for this holographic super sparkle. Let's see what that comes out like. Which, as you can tell, I haven't done embossing for ages. There we go. Thing is, sometimes with the sparkly ones, the sparkles go everywhere, but it looks so pretty. Now I'm going to use my heat gun. Now again, this is a heater up heat gun, and you can tell this is really well used, and this is very, very old as well. I'm not sure whether you can get heat it up. I don't know. I'm just going to quickly emboss this. There we go. I was hoping you'll be able to sort of see that change. Can you see it just melts it, and it's left on there looking really, really pretty. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take a couple of these little sparklies. Let's have a look. Let's have some diddy ones. Just a couple. I'm going to take that little pencil. I'm going to take a little bit of just some tacky glue. Let's just pop a little bit in the middle there of the butterfly. Should we have a couple just on those little bits like that? Okay, let's just pick this up. See, this pencil is fabulous. It's not sticky or anything, it just looks like a white pencil, but it just picks these up perfect. Now to put these back in there, I just stick my finger on there like that and just pop them in, just wipe them off. Now I'm going to get a couple of the bigger ones. I just want a couple of those. Let's just flip that over. One on there. Flip this over. One on that side. Oops. Pop those back in. And then these are clear. These are like crystal ones. And then these two little ones are like sort of holographic-y ones, which are really pretty, which I think I might, let's just see if I can flip this over. Pop this one on there, like that. So look at that. Just looks so pretty, doesn't it? The little butterfly. But that is just a super, super quick and easy little, you know, notebooks to go in your journals. So that's the one I did before, and then we've got that one, which I love. These are beautiful. Look at that. It's lovely. Okay, so that's that one. Let's pop those over there. Now I'm going to show you how to make this one now. Now this is quite simple too. I'm going to take a nice piece of coffee stain paper again. Let's put these. Oh, let me just clean my little stamp. Just pop that on there like that. And pop him back in his little place so we don't lose him. These are great because they're all marked so you can see exactly where they go. Okay, let's pop those over there. Now, to make this one, the long notebook one, this one here. This is a A4 piece of coffee stain paper, but like I said, you can use any paper that you've got. You want it to be plain, so you can make any colour, I mean. You want it to be plain because you want to stamp on it. Now, I'm just going to tear it down. Right, so you want to tear it into 4. So tear it in half, and then those half in half again. Oops. Like that. Now again, if you've got a guillotine or a paper cutter, you can use that. But I'm just ripping it down because I'm quite liking the torn edges. I've only got this underneath because of the embossing powders spill. Then I can just tip them back into the pot. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got 4 of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them on top of each other, but just so we've got enough room to do a little stamp, if you know what I mean. So just sort of like layer them up a little bit. Then I'm going to layer that one on top like that. Now, depending how big you want it, so that's your pad of paper, I'm going to bend this over the top like that. So I'm going to bend it just about that much. So just eyeball it, bend that over like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over, oops, a bit, and I'm going to cut it off to this bit. Like that. So then we've got these little 3 bits. So that just folds over like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take my stapler and I'm just going to staple that. Super simple. Look at that. Easy peasy little booklet. Or little sort of, well, it is a booklet, isn't it? It's almost like a little waterfall booklet, isn't it? Then again, my ink pad, just brush this so it looks all nice and grungy, like this. But again, you don't have to make it look grungy, but I think that looks nice. Let's just do the ends of these. So you could do sort of mass making and all of these. You could use the lovely stamps and just stamp lots of bits of paper and then make things up. So there we go. That's nice and messy, isn't it? Right. Next thing we are going to do, we are going to pick some stamps. Now on this one, I did sort of like the flowery ones and then 2 smaller ones in the middle. But I think what I'm going to do, so you need to pick your stamps so that they will fit. So I like that one. I like this one. So that's quite a big one. So that needs to sort of go in the top. Let's pop this on. And we're going to emboss these. So we need the Versa mark. I'll pop a link down below. But again, you can just stamp. You don't need to emboss if you don't want to emboss. But if you have embossing powders, I think it just looks so pretty. I'm going to do it in gold because the gold shows up a little bit better on camera when you emboss it. Just hold that down for a minute. Can you see it's like a watermark on there, and you can leave it like that to dry or pop some embossing powder on, but don't leave it for too long because it will dry out and your embossing powder won't stick. But there you go. Give it a little tap. You can get a brush and brush off these little bits if you want to, but I I don't mind if they've got little sparkly bits on, because I do like my sparkles. Pop that down, pop this on for a minute, and then I'm going to emboss that. Hoping you could see it changing. I hope you saw that, but look at that. I just think that looks so pretty, doesn't it? Right, so we're going to have another one this way, and that one on that way, if you know what I mean. So we need smaller ones, don't we? Let's have a look. Let's see, that one's pretty, isn't it? See what I did, if I should have folded these a little bit bigger, really. Oh, I could put the little flower there, couldn't I? That's nice. Shall we have this little rose on there? Oh, I didn't put this one back, did I? That was naughty. Where did this one go? Where did this one go? There it is. It went into here. So we must remember to put them back so we don't forget. Let's pop that on there. Versamark. So if you haven't inked or stamped, not inked but stamped for a long time, give it a go, because it's so much fun. You forget which was the flower I got. I can't remember now. This one, was it that one? So I think it goes this way, like that. Let's just hold that down, pop a little bit of this on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp all of them, I think, and then just emboss the lot together. So we've got that one. Let's take this one off, pop that back on, and then we shall have, will that little one fit on there? I think so, won't it? One. I think we might have to open this one up, because little reverse one. So this is sticky. This is very sticky. Let's just stick that on. Open that up a little bit. Push that down. And then just sprinkle that on. Flick. Make sure you get all the little bits off. There's that one. And then what shall we pop on the bottom one? We could have some leaves. We could have another rose there. Actually, I might do a couple of roses along the bottom. Oh gosh, let me put this one back. See, I forgot again. Where did this one come out? In here. In there, pop this little rose on, just pop, I think I will just pop 3 of these just along the bottom like that. Just tap that on. There we go. Oh, lovely. I'm going to pop that up there just for a second. Let's just pop this away. This isn't as messy as glitter. It's messy, but it's not as messy as glitter. Let me just turn that over. Pop this back in its little place. which was in here. Pop you in there. Pop you down there, and then we will emboss. I'm going to emboss all 3 of those. Look at that, they look so pretty, and isn't it nice to have a little bit of sparkle? As you know, I love my sparkle. So that's the other one we did, and that's that one, which are beautiful, aren't they? So I'm going to add, what should we add to the top? Look, I've got a little bit. See, this is all the bits that I had on my desk before. So let's just use up a little bit of, actually I could pop that, or mustn't forget my little paper clip, because that's what we're going to turn it into. Let's just chop that little bit off. Let's put, where's my paper clip? I'm using smaller paper clips today. So this one is just over an inch, which is about 3 centimeters. I'm going to get a little scrap piece of paper. This is the bits that we cut off, so we can use that like that. So that will fit because it's the right size, because that's the bit we just cut off. So we can just stick this on, can't we? A little bit of glue along here. And it's nice to have a little paper clip on it. Again, obviously you don't have to, but and then it just sort of like clips onto the top of your pages. Nice and simple. Look at that. Just some nice little basic makes. And then we will take this and just pop a little bit. I'm going to use some 3-in-1 for this, just so it sticks a little bit quicker. But if you've only got tacky glue, you can use that as well. Oops. Let's just stick that down. There we go. Love that. Now I need something on the top of that, don't we? What have I got? I don't have any of my little bits and pieces here. But I suppose I could have one of these. Look, I've got a little number. Oh, I could put a little number 12. Not just 12. I don't know what. We've got a little postage stamp here actually. Oh, I quite like that. Let's ink that. Let's pop a little bit of ink on here. Grunge it up just a little bit. But again, you can put what you don't have to put anything on there, but it's just nice to finish little bits off. Look at that. Stick that on. Put these together like that, and then I have 2. So we can pop this on the page. So these are just super simple. You've got your little paper clip on there. Got this little one onto this one. We have 2 lovely little journals here, or little notebooks, aren't they? So how simple is that? So next one we're going to do this lovely little paper clip with a little pulley out bit. So let's do that. Right, what I'm using is, like we did with the little thing that we just made, tear a piece of paper in 2 quarters, so you've got another long piece like that, and then just fold it in half like this. This is great. These sort of things are good to use up your scraps. So if you cut this sort of like end off a journal page or something that you were making, So I'm just sort of concertinaing it up like that. So fold it in half and then fold it half, so you've got that shape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just, I was going to punch that out, but if you want to punch out something that's really thin, you want to put something behind it, another piece behind it. Let's see if this works, because sometimes it doesn't cut because it bends. There we go. The thicker the paper, the better. Well, not if it's really thick, but trying to punch just one piece, sometimes it bends the paper. Can you see? And it just doesn't cut it. But if you double it over and put something behind, it gives it a little bit more to sort of grab hold of and doesn't just bend it. So there we go. Right, I'm going to just ink this little bit. Just like that. And then again, I'm going to take my whole ink pad and just ink this. Nice and quick and simple. So you can make lots of, out of just like a couple of pieces of paper, you can make lots and lots of lovely little bits of ephemera. There we go. Super, look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then on the back, I'm going to take this. So that's the front with the little pocket. Okay. Now the back piece, I'm going to take a paper clip, and all I'm going to do, pop a paper clip on the back like that. Okay. And then we just need to glue this together. Just around the edge. Make sure this is glued on. Pop that down. There we go. Lovely, nice and simple. So that's that bit. Then I'm going to glue this little pocket down. Oopsie daisy. At the front, just a little bit. Oops, where's my glue? There we go. A little bit down the side. A little bit across the bottom. And fold that up. So that's our little front pocket. And then that's the middle bit. Again, you can just stamp in there or whatever you like inside. So what shall we pop on there? I'm going to just pick one of these little randomy bits on here. Let's see what we've got. So that's going to be a little bit too big, isn't it? Should we just have this? I want to have something so I've got room to stamp underneath. There we go, that's better, isn't it? Let's have that a little bit. Put these to the side. Where's my ink gone? There we are. Oh, I could probably use this actually. Just ink those little bits. Like that. Take your glue. Like this. Little bit of glue on there. Perfect. Just pop that on. There we go. Now the nice thing about these little corner ones is that you can turn them onto the side and they make this lovely, lovely little shape. Now you could have a little long sort of like piece of paper, whatever you like in there, or you could put a word in there and put that on the top. Actually, that's a very good idea. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. That will look really nice. So let's just find something to put on the bottom of this. So seeing this is clear, you can go round and just have a look and see which ones. Let's go for something in here and then we can add. You want one that's, I think that's the one I used. Oh no, that one's going to be too big. You want one that is symmetrical, don't you? Shall we use this one in here? Or should we use this one? That one's quite nice. This one's quite nice and flowery actually. decisions. There's so many beautiful ones in here that you've got to make a decision which you want. But again, you could probably stamp it and just see what it looked like as well on there. All sorts of ways. Let's go. What are we doing? We're doing a stays on, aren't we? So just gently tap on there. There we go. Turn that around. Just pop it just down like that. Hold that on for a minute so the ink soaks into the paper. Look at that. Isn't that just so pretty? And we're going to pop little diamante bits on there. Let's just stamp that off. That's quite clean. Which one did this come from? On here? Or on here? It must have been on here. So on this one? On this one? There it is. There's a little one. Let's pop that in there. Beautiful. These I love. All of my little acrylic blocks are really grubby at the moment. They need a really good clean. So let's stick some little diamantes on here, shall we? Our little gems. Our little rhinestones, I think they're probably called, aren't they? Put one there. Let's put one there. Maybe we'll have a little one in the middle. Where should we have this one? Just there. And there. So just a tiny little blob of tacky glue. Shall we have one of these nice pretty ones to go in the middle or at the top? Middle? I think I'll pop it there. That's lovely. Pop those back. Twist it round. What should we have? We don't want tiny, do we? Have those, and I'm going to have bigger one in the middle. Let's see if I can flip these over. There we go. That one there. Actually, I might have another one of those in there. I think it would look a bit odd if I have a diddy one at the bottom. Let's take another one of these out. Oops. Flip over, pop that one under there, and then we'll have these little diddy ones either side. Gosh, they look so pretty, don't they? Can you see? How lovely. Let's put these two back. Which ones? I think that's these ones. This really is the easiest way. Just stick them on your finger and pop them back in. Like that. And they're all nice in here. Nice and safe. So this just twists around. It's a little pot. Lovely. So now I'm going to use another piece of the paper that we cut off from the long little things that we made. Do you think that's going to be big enough? Yes, because I will put a little thing at the top. What do you think? I suppose that could probably be a bit wider. Oh no, that will do. That's fine. I'm going to glue this together like this. A little bit of, oopsie daisy, a little bit of tacky glue in there. Ink it around the edge. And then I'm going to get one of these. Now, and you could do with, I did have a round one. Oh, here we go. This is a little round one, which I think would look quite nice folded over. Well, that doesn't go in there. That's from my little vintage ladies, I think. I'm going to just fold this. Which way does it go? Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to fold the little one in half. Just ink it. And then just glue that on the top like that. A little bit of glue. Pop that and just stick that like that. Quite like it with that flat top. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? And then that just fits in there, pops up the top. Actually, it sort of like goes with the little cutout bit, doesn't it? I like that. I think that looks really, really lovely. So I'm going to stamp on here. What shall we stamp on this one? Let's have a look. Gosh, there's so many. They are just beautiful. We want a nice little corner one. That's a lovely one, isn't it? Maybe we'll do that. Or shall we have a little, maybe we'll have a little nice one like this. I do like this. I like that one actually. Oh, Decisions. This one. I think this one. Let's take this off. Pop it under here. Got glitter all over this. Glittery bits. That on there. Shall we emboss on this one? Should we do a little bit of embossing? Do a little bit of gold embossing because I do like the gold. So you can either do it like that, or if you push this down you can see that it's actually going all over that lovely little stamp. Just pop that on here. Hold that down. Take our gold, sprinkle that on. Lovely. So I'm going to say you've got a little brush, you can just brush the little sparkly bits off, but I don't mind the little sparkly bits. Let's just pop this little bit back in there like that. Lid on. I'll have to use my little embossing powders a bit more, I think. Okay, let's just do this. Lovely. If you were doing somebody a card or something, then I would brush these little bits off just to make it look a bit tidier. But just because it's going into a journal, I think this will be alright. But again, if you were selling something or making it, trying to make it look nice, just get a tiny little paintbrush, and before you heat it, just brush off the little sparkly bits. If you're going to use sparkly embossing powders. Whoops. Look at this, isn't that just so pretty? Then I'm going to just pop that in there, pop that in. Then we've got another little paper clip, and again you can put little pockets, you can stamp on here. Should we stamp? Do you think I've got this a bit lumpy bumpy actually? Maybe I'll pop another little, what should we have? That little diddy flower? Oh, that's quite pretty. Oh gosh, too many pretty ones to choose, isn't there? Let's pop this one back into here. Goes around that way. Pop that one on there. And we shall just do this one with Stays On. Now, if you've not used Stays On before, it is an ink that you can, it's a permanent ink. So it goes onto metal, glass, it goes onto everything. And if you want to pop it on paper, it will, you can, sorry, my battery went. I've got a problem with my batteries. They just don't last very long on the camera. So I've just inked that tiny lovely little flower, and I'm just going to stamp that onto there. Just like that. Can you see? Doesn't that just look so pretty? I think they are beautiful. Now, the other thing you could do actually, well, I've got the stamps out. Now, this is finished, so that's lovely. And you've got the lovely little sparkly rhinestones on there. So that's beautiful, isn't it? So that's another one to go in here. So we've got 3 beautiful ephemera bits here today. I'm just going to show you one more thing as well, but look at these, aren't they just beautiful? One more thing as well, if you wanted to just do a lovely little journal card or a backing, you can just take one of the little flowers or one of the little anythings and just randomly pop it onto your paper. This is fabulous for making background papers, and you've got in this pack there's like 60 plus stamps on there. Just fabulous, aren't they? Just turn your paper and stamp like that. You could probably put a couple on here as well. You could probably put a couple of little ones on there at a time and stamp. And then once you've done the middle bit, go off the side like that. So then that looks like you've got a sort of like a whole piece of paper. It almost looks sort of like those beautiful Indian stamps that you get. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So these are fabulous stamps. I love them. So that would look really nice. Where have we got? On a piece of back paper like that. If you inked the edge, I think I'd probably ink the edge with a little bit of stays on, just so it's black. Like that. So experiment. If you only have a few sort of supplies and you've got ink and stamps, you can make some beautiful things. It's just your sort of imagination really, isn't it? Like I always say. Right, let's just get rid of that. I need to clean this one. Let me just quickly pop a little bit of this on before I... So just a dab of the stays on, a little bit of kitchen paper, and then it just is really clean. Perfect. Pop it back in here. What I was thinking was, if you had another piece like that, what's this? This is something, oh, I could actually stick that on the back, couldn't I? And you could do like 4 corners, but I would need something quite thin, wouldn't we? Would that work? That would work, wouldn't it? Let's just have a little, let's have a little play quick while I've got these out. Now, I do have lots of this glittery embossing powder everywhere. Look, I'm going to be sparkling all day long. Let's take that off. Okay, let's do it this way. You can actually see, once you do it this way, you can, if you tap it, you can see that the amount of ink that's on your stamp. I'm going to go right to the edge. Hold that down. Oh, I didn't quite stamp. I didn't quite push hard enough on the edge. But I just want to show you, you know, another way of using these beautiful stamps. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Just a nice light tap. If you have a quite a juicy ink pad, Stays On is quite a hard ink pad, but some of them are sort of spongy. So just tap it, don't push it in. because when you push it in, it goes all in between your pattern, and then, you know, when you press it down, it just oozes out that ink onto your page. There we go. Beautiful. Let's pop that on there for a minute. It's got this little, the stays on, I don't know whether you know this, whether you use them. It's got that little protective plastic bit on there, and that you need to keep that on there. Look at that. How simple is that? Because they do dry out. They dry out quite a lot. Evaporate because they're solvent based. A little bit. You could pop a little bit of black card behind this just to give it a little bit of an edge. But how lovely is that? I'm going to glue that on there. Let's just make a little envelope while we're here. It's a little bit of glue. Oopsie daisy. Just pop that. Look at that. That just fits perfect, doesn't it? Gosh, I like that. Oh, that's good because it doesn't matter. I did it upside down, but it doesn't matter because it's, you know, just a pattern. Oh, how pretty is that? Now, I think I'm going to put a notch in this, as you do. This is a little bit thicker, this. I think this is probably 180 GSM, might be even 200 GSM paper. I'm going to get my big one out because this is quicker. I know it makes a little bit more of a mess, but a little bit quicker. What should we do with this top piece? I'm going to go around this. I might, let's just take our little corner punch. Shall we just pop a little round bit on there? Just finish that off. Look at that, I do like that. Now we need something on here now, don't we? So that could be the front or the back, whichever way you want to have it. Could probably made that into like a little pocket actually. I could have pop a little notch in there. Gosh, I love my pockets. I do love my pockets. Let's find one of these. Let's find something. Look, we've got like a little fish in there. Oh, what was I going to do? I was going to do a word. Let me see if I've got any words to hand. Let's 2 seconds. This is what I was using the other day, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's just pop lost property on here. That works. And then what I was thinking with these is you could put one at the top and one at the bottom. So we don't want anything too big because it's gonna, let's take this one. I'm gonna get, shall we just stick this on? That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna just stick this on and then just stamp around it. Let's just, I think that's in the middle. Look in the middle. I'm going to put it like that so I haven't got anything underneath it. Let's take this. Let's take, okay, I need to clean this quickly. This has got like a little spongy thing on, so you just sponge it. Then you just, look at that. You can see how much ink was on there, can't you? Are we going to find one of these? That's not it, is it? I'm going to pop that there quickly. I'm going to stick it like this, actually. So we're going to use these grid lines on here today. Now, stays on, get rid of that. And I'm going to pop there. Oh, that's fabulous, isn't it? I like that. And turn it around and try and get this sort of level. Oops, I think I just stuck it down. Whoops. Oh no, that's okay. Look at that. Oh, I love it. That's fabulous. Oh, I like that. Doesn't that look nice? So many different ways. Let's just clean that one up. Pop that there. Look at that, how lovely. And then what you can do, you can pop little gems on there. You could pop a little hole in there actually and just tie something round, or leave it like that. But I'm going to leave it like that because I can use that, and I'm going to flip that down and maybe I'll pop some pockets or something in there. But as it is, that is fabulous. I love it. So there we go, guys. These beautiful stamps from Beebeecraft that I've used as the stamping in here. These gorgeous little gems which come with this fab little pickup tool, which is great. And what we have made are all these lovely, lovely bits and some embossing. So the things that we used to do, I don't know whether you're like me and you started off with sort of inks and embossing and making cards and that. Sometimes we forget. I haven't used embossing powders for ages, and these stamps are just absolutely perfect to do it. And they just look beautiful, don't they? So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to Beebeecraft for these beautiful products. I just absolutely love them. These stamps are going to be well used, I think. And as you know, I love my little rhinestones. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fab rest of the day. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys. Bye-bye.